Wales, United States, Equatorial Guinea, Malaysia, Trinidad and Tobago, and Hungary. This is Group 7 of the Head-to-Head Challenge. We have our first contestants from Group 7, Wales, United States, and Equatorial Guinea. How are you feeling, ladies?
Great, thank you.
Yes, I'm excited.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
Not nervous at all?
No, this is actually like my favorite part of competing in pageantry, is getting to speak with everyone.
Great, we'll have time to speak to all of you, but now we want to meet Wales.
Hello, Shemai. My name is Gabriella Dukes and I am Miss Wales. I come from Port Talbot, a small industrial town in South Wales, best known for its steelworks, one of the biggest in the world. I am so excited to be representing my town and beautiful country Wales at Miss World. In 2017, I was honoured to make it to the final 14 girls on Britain's Next Top Model, and this has allowed me to pursue a career in modelling. Last year, I graduated with a degree in sport and exercise science. My passion for sport has helped shape me into who I am today and has taught me important values that I apply to my daily life, such as respect for others, self-discipline, and the determination to succeed. And this has further fueled my other passion in life, volunteering. I've been a volunteer and ambassador for Women's Aid here in my hometown and Wales since 2014, aiming to raise as much awareness and as much funds as possible to help end the cycle of domestic violence for good. This topic will be the main focus of my Beauty with a Purpose project. They have been a constant inspiration to me to work even harder to use my platform as Miss Wales to bring more empowerment to these women and to highlight these issues in the mainstream media. It is a real privilege to be one of the British girls welcoming the Miss World contestants to the UK. See you in London.
Wales, I'm very excited at this moment because watching your video, you were part of Britain's Next Top Model.
Yes, it was.
And I was part of Mexico's Next Top Model, so we're practically sisters.
Yeah, family.
Yeah, exactly. How was that experience for you?
It was such an incredible experience for me because it was such a dream for me growing up. I've always wanted to be part of modelling and to do that as a career. So to actually get through to Britain's Next Top Model, which is one of the biggest modelling shows and platforms for modelling in the UK and the world, really, it was just incredible. And I never expected them to actually pick me. Being from South Wales, a little town called Port Talbot, I didn't expect them to actually choose me. And it was something that unlike anything I've ever experienced before. It was such a surreal experience.
What do you do when you got the call?
I cried. I cried because I had an interview in London and I thought, oh, that was nice. It was lovely to meet the crew and the presenters and the producers, and I'm happy whatever happened. Just to get the call back was amazing. So to actually be on the show was incredible. And one of my favourite memories from being on Britain's Next Top Model was when we got the chance to model at London Fashion Week, because that was a goal of mine for forever that I've always wanted to do. And we modelled for Giles Deacon, which is a big fashion designer in Britain. And I remember that when we did the show, going backstage, we all burst into tears because it was such an incredible feeling that your dream was coming true, that we got to walk for London Fashion Week.
That it was real. It
was so real, and it was just incredible, and everyone was so lovely, all the girls, and we all keep in contact now. So it was such a platform for me to pursue a modelling career then.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to serve you well while you're here. And now, can you tell us a little bit about your Beauty with a Purpose?
Of course. My Beauty with a Purpose project is one that is very close to my heart and I'm very passionate about. It revolves around domestic abuse and domestic violence. And my aim really is to raise as much awareness and as much funds as possible that I can to help women and young children who have been affected by domestic abuse. I've been an ambassador and volunteer for 5 years already, so I have seen firsthand what these women have been through and these families have been through. So my aim was to concentrate on the children. I'm happy to say that I'm able to fund counsellors for them to speak to whilst living in refuge, activities for them to do whilst living in refuge, so that they can get their childhood back. And I'm also funding a new women's centre in Wales, which is incredible. I actually went to see it on my way up here to London to give them the good news that we were donating £10,000 to help them and to teach them vital skills like self-defence and things to get them empowered and to live their fullest life.
Well, £10,000,
Yes.
that's a great achievement.
It was incredible. It was an incredible feeling to see their reactions, and I know how much it's going to help families in the toughest of times in Wales as well.
Well, congratulations on that, Wales, and thank you for explaining us.
Thank you.
Now we will meet United States.
Once upon a time, in the tiny kingdom of Collins, Iowa, there lived a little girl named Emmy Rose Cavalier. She had larger-than-life dreams of becoming a performer, an inventor, and even a princess. Throughout her life, she worked hard every single day to make her dreams come true, and always remembered what her mother taught her. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. The path to her dreams was not always easy, and as many fairy tales go, there were evil villains along the way who tried to convince Emmy that she was not worthy of achieving her dreams. But she persevered and continued to put her whole heart into all that she did. And through every failure, setback, and rejection she faced, she grew in her character. And slowly but surely, she began to watch her dreams unfold before her very eyes. She became a performer and got to share her love of song, dance, and storytelling with thousands of people across the country. She became an inventor and business owner and worked to create inventions that would spark happiness and creativity to all who use them. And yes, she even became a princess and brought joy and magic to sick children in need of some light in their lives. Then, something truly magical happened, and her wildest dreams came true as she was crowned Miss World America 2019. I'm Miss World America, Emmy Rose Cavalier, and I believe that with hard work, tenacity, kindness, and most importantly, love, anything is possible. I want children to grow up knowing that they are worthy of achieving their wildest dreams. If we simply take small steps toward our goals every day, we have the power to achieve the unimaginable and create our very own happily ever after.
United States, your video is a fairy tale. All of it. I loved it.
Aww.
And you say in your video that you are an inventor. What did you invent?
Yes, so I'm so excited to talk about this. Ever since I was a little girl, I've been so infatuated with fairy tales and Disney princesses, and I think what drew me into them most were these magical, larger-than-life experiences that they had. And as you can probably see in my video, I never really grew out of my love for that. I still absolutely love Disney princesses, and I actually am a frequent visitor of all of the Disney parks in the United States. And you probably know that when you visit Disney parks, many times you'll wear Mickey Mouse ears on your head.
Yes.
So I decided to take my love for Disney and fairy tales, my love for being creative and inventing, and my entrepreneurship skills, kind of combine them into one. And about 8 months ago, I opened my own business called The Magic Factory. And what we do is we create completely one-of-a-kind 3D printed mouse ears for park goers to wear to the Disney parks. We create them for a lot of different characters. There's tons of different styles, and we're actually the first business to create motorized Mickey ears. So we make ears that move around like a Ferris wheel, ears that
I was
move
looking
up and
at
down.
your London one.
Yes, I even
Did
made
you bring
a pair.
it?
I did,
Oh,
yes.
we'll have to see that later, United States.
I made a pair to match the scenery behind us. Yeah.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
I know, isn't it gorgeous?
And now tell us about your video with a purpose.
I would love to. So my love for all things magical and fairy tale kind of transcends into my Beauty with a Purpose project. And it all was inspired by a little girl that I met with childhood leukemia, a 4-year-old little girl named Lila. And she really opened my eyes to all of the struggles that children battling critical illness face. And meeting her, I realized that there are hundreds of thousands of kids across the globe who don't ever have the opportunity to get these magical experiences that I was so freely given as a child. And that really touched my heart, and I knew I wanted to do something about it. So I created my project, The Magic and the Miracles, and it's very multifaceted and considers really all the needs of the children. First and foremost, I knew that I wanted to bring them joy and happiness, so I started visiting children's hospitals as a Disney princess.
Of course.
Yes, of course. And then I decided to create my own fundraising tour called Mermaids and Miracles, and I toured the United States and ended up raising $20,000 for children battling critical illness. But then I realized this is not just a problem in the United States, it's definitely a global problem, and children across the world are in just unimaginable circumstances, especially when we talk about third world and underdeveloped countries, and I knew I wanted to do something for them as well. So I created my Ball in a Box program, and I send boxes full of toys, crafts, storybooks, just anything that can lift the spirits of these little ones and let them know that even if they are thousands and thousands of miles away in dark situations, that there is somebody that loves and truly cares for them.
That's something that's going beyond borders.
Yes.
And I really like it.
Thank you.
Okay, last question for you. Which one is your favorite Disney princess?
Ooh, Ariel is definitely my favorite.
Leave it there. We'll leave it there and we'll talk about it later. Now it's the time for Equatorial Guinea.
Hola, mi nombre es Jan Ortiz Ollono, tengo 20 años, soy preuniversitaria y represento a Guinea Ecuatorial en el certamen de Miss Mundo. Dentro de poco comenzaré la carrera de Relaciones Internacionales, ya que soy una amante de la historia, de conocer otras culturas y otras maneras de pensar. En mi tiempo libre me encanta leer libros, sobre todo de autores guineanos como Guillermina Mocuy y César Brando. También me gusta disfrutar de nuestras hermosas playas, escuchar música y jugar con mi perro. Guinea Ecuatorial es un pequeño país situado en el corazón de África. Es el único país del África Negra que habla español y además nuestra capital se encuentra situada en una isla de origen volcánico. En la actualidad, nuestro país se encuentra en un auge de desarrollo. Contamos con los mejores hoteles de toda Centroáfrica, infraestructuras modernas, playas vírgenes y cascadas infinitas. Además, poseemos de una rica cultura que podemos apreciar con el simplemente hecho de andar por sus calles y observar sus edificios de la época colonial, el asentamiento británico y los monumentos que nos dejaron los portugueses a su llegada. Mi familia desde pequeña me ha inculcado valores como la humildad, la sencillez, el compañerismo y sobre todo el amor al prójimo. Por esto, y gracias a la oportunidad que me está brindando la organización de Miss Guinea, me gustaría transmitir esos valores y enfocarlo en mis proyectos sociales. Tales son como ayudar a los niños discapacitados, mentalmente y físicamente, a que puedan tener la misma aceptación y las mismas oportunidades que nosotros. Nos vemos pronto en Miss Mundo.
Equatorial Guinea will answer in Spanish. Equatorial Guinea, I saw in your video that you want to be a national ambassador. Why?
Principalmente me gustaría ser embajadora de mi país ante la UNESCO, porque la UNESCO trabaja con 3 objetivos muy importantes, que son la educación, la cultura y la ciencia. Entonces, esos valores son muy importantes a nivel, para mí, para poder desarrollar mi país. Sí, claro. En primer lugar, la educación es la base de toda sociedad. Entonces, sin educación no puede haber sociedad y sin sociedad no puede haber desarrollo. En segundo lugar, la ciencia también es muy importante a la hora del desarrollo de un país y sobre todo como africana, nuestras culturas son muy importantes, nuestras tradiciones. Entonces, englobar todo eso y poder ayudar a mi país a desarrollarse sin perder esas culturas creo que sería un magnífico sueño y, ¿por qué no?, cumplirlo.
Sí, claro, y que sepan más de Guinea Ecuatorial, que no es muy sonado en el mundo, pero que ahora sí. Llegue a todos lados, ¿no?
Exacto.
Y háblanos sobre tu belleza con propósito.
Bueno, actualmente mi país es uno de los países con el mayor porcentaje de niñas adolescentes que no están estudiando, que han abandonado los estudios. Puede haber muchos factores que afecten a a ese porcentaje, pero principalmente es por una ley que ahora está establecida en nuestro país, que las niñas embarazadas no pueden ir a clase.
¿De verdad?
Sí. Entonces, mi Beauty with Purpose ayuda a esas niñas, sobre todo moralmente, a que no pierdan la esperanza, a que no pierdan ese sueño de poder seguir estudiando. Y también las ayudamos con voluntariados de profesores que vayan a sus casas. También hay algunas que las echan de sus casas, sus padres, entonces les ponemos una casa, les ponemos profesores voluntarios que a la hora de retomar sus estudios puedan seguir con ese ímpetu de seguir estudiando y no caigan la moral.
Claro, claro, nadie se debe de quedar sin educación.
No.
Pues muchas gracias, Guinea Ecuatorial, es un proyecto muy bello y
Gracias.
espero que te siga yendo increíble.
Gracias.
So there you go, your first 3 contestants from Group 7. And now, remember to vote for your favorite in all our social media platforms, Mobster, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, the Miss World website, missworld.com. Our next 3 contestants are Malaysia, Trinidad and Tobago, and Hungary. How are you feeling, ladies?
Amazing. Absolutely.
Welcome, welcome to the head-to-head.
Thank you.
Are you ready to start?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Well, then, let's start with Malaysia.
This is a land of diversity. This is a land rich in culture. And this is a land I call home.
Salam sejahtera, nama saya Alexis, and I'm honored to proudly represent the melting pot of traditions, land of glory, Malaysia.
Born and bred in the city of contrast, Kuala Lumpur, I've grown to love its rich blend of modern and traditional architectures, as well as our multifarious diversity, not just in our local cuisines, but most importantly, our people.
Terima kasih Kak. Hao, 谢谢. Thank you. Thanks.
Growing up, I was never a little one that could contain my energy. My mom constantly described me as a ball of fire, filled with burning passions, and with that, I took and learned everything I possibly could, from dancing to playing instruments to even taking sports to a higher level. At an early age of 12, I was introduced to giving back to my society when my mom started working for a charity foundation. It was then when I first saw a different side to life that others in my country were living. And ever since then, I aim to do as much as I could to shed light to the communities that seek them the most. Each and every one of those moments played its part in proving to me that we can always come together to spread a little less judgment and a little more love in the world. My calling to speak on behalf of the unheard remains still, no matter the circumstances. To educate, to empower, and to emulate what a Miss World truly is. A true beauty with a purpose.
You seem to have a very special bond with your mom.
I do.
Which I love.
Yes.
She inspired you to start volunteering and on her charity foundation. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, even now when I'm speaking about it, I always get a little bit more emotional, and it's even worse that we're so far away now, apart from each other. But I know that everyone would have to say the same thing, but for me personally, my mom is the epitome of a true hero to me. I mean, she's kind, she's compassionate, she's courageous, and she is definitely headstrong because, you know, being both parents at the same time to me, growing up, I never really had a dad. So over 20 years, she was the only one that took care after me. And back then we didn't have much. We still don't have much either right now, but I don't mind. I think that's okay because I think that's the beauty of it. And I think that's the beauty of my mom as well. Even though we don't have much, she never failed to really just instill courage and just strength and empathy and compassion for me to make it my core values in life. And because of her, I think that for me, I've grown to learn and I've grown to believe over the past few years that my definition of success shouldn't be measured by the quantity of my achievements, but really rather the quality of my well-being and how I'm able to really just reach out to people and, you know, just shed light to other people that need them more than I do.
Yeah, I think you have the most important thing right there, unconditional love.
Yeah.
That's something that you can't buy and it's very hard to find, so you have everything that you need.
Yes, it is.
And what about your Beauty with a Purpose?
So my Beauty with a Purpose is Chance for Change, and it is a project that I initiated with Orphan Care Foundation. And this is essentially to eliminate one of the most crucial yet less talked about topic in my country, which is baby dumping. And I first started doing this a year ago when I visited this little home called Rumah Kita in Kuala Lumpur. And I thought it was an orphanage home, but when I went there was no kids. All that was there was teenage mothers and babies lying all over the floor and just semi-broken baby cots. And that's when I knew that that place held babies that have been baby dumped and found in public areas. And so after doing a lot more research, I found out that over the past few years, and as of 2019, we have over 1,000 babies in Malaysia that have been baby dumped, with 64% of them not being able to survive the day itself. And this issue really just stems from how our younger generations are not knowledgeable enough about this topic, and how these teen mothers that have been raped and abused have little to zero quality education or work opportunities in their hands. So with this project, we really just focused on providing a sense of belonging and providing really much more of the bigger picture, where we actually provide, how do you say this, like an avenue for them to really just speak out. And we do this through two ways. The first one being awareness. We reached out to local schools in rural areas and we educate these kids about things like abstinence, how to get yourself out of sexual grooming, how to say no, and etc. And the second one being sustainability, where instead of having these teen mothers in Rumah Kita risk their lives to go out and find a job, we bring the work to them. So we created a jewelry line, which I'm wearing right now.
Oh.
And what they do is every weekend we have someone to come in and teach them how to do these jewelries. And we sell them at charity bazaars, and we have online platforms as well. So this creates a sustainable solution for that, and it's been amazing to see these women and these girls just regain a sense of belonging into society again. It's been absolutely amazing.
Oh, you spoke about two very different things that you're doing, and I think prevention is one of the most important ones, because we don't want this to keep happening to these people.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Malaysia.
Thank you so much.
Now let's meet Trinidad and Tobago.
I am Tajane Remy, Miss World Trinidad and Tobago 2019. I was raised by my mum and the small, vibrant community of 5 Rivers. They have taught me that true greatness comes from serving others, and this is why I chose to follow in my mother's footsteps and pursue a career in social work. My profession allows me to make a difference in the lives of others by providing psychosocial intervention to underprivileged families, marginalized communities, and youth in conflict with the law. It has also equipped me with the skills for my Beauty with a Purpose project, which is aimed at helping Venezuelan migrant children and their families. I enjoy playing sports and have represented my country in volleyball for the past 6 years. I've been dancing since I could stand, and I love playing the saxophone. My country is known for its rich and diverse culture, and I can't wait to share it with my Miss World sisters in London.
Okay, so Trinidad and Tobago, sports are kind of your thing. Because I know that you play volleyball. I also play volleyball in university. But you also were part of the winning team at the sports challenge today.
Yeah, it was such a fantastic experience, just being able to have my hard work pay off, my preparation for this particular challenge has been quite strenuous for the past couple of months, but it was such a great feeling, and honestly I had a bit of nostalgia standing on that podium because it would have taken me back to one of my very first volleyball tournaments. It was in the US Virgin Islands, and I remember what it felt like to have our golden medals around our necks and the red, white and black on our chest, and this uncontainable pride of being able to be an ambassador for your country, and knowing that this experience and this victory is not limited to myself and my teammates, but of course it is being celebrated by 1.3 million people, and as we etched Trinidad and Tobago's name in history, similar to my Caribbean sister that she did today, Miss British Virgin Islands, who would have been the first queen to have made, who would have made the top 40 ever, and I'm very, very proud of you. Congratulations.
Well, I think your country must be thrilled to see you there, and I saw it, and we all saw it. It was a big joy to see you up there smiling so beautifully, and see you shine through all of this.
Thank you.
And about your beauty with a purpose.
So Trinidad and Tobago has been recipients of the largest amounts of Venezuelan migrants per capita than any other country in the region. And to think, to just conceptualize being able to make a decision to leave everything that you once knew as home, your culture, your food, your language, to risk a perilous journey just a mere 7 miles away. It must have been in search of one thing: hope. Hope to eat, hope to have access to medication and healthcare, hope to learn, hope to just live. And so that's why I would have named my project Project Esperanza. And I was committed to building bridges, not walls. And so I took to my social media platform. I did television and radio interviews, school tours, to challenge the way that we look at difference and challenge anti-immigrant stigma, and to recognize and sensitize the public on what forced migration is and the realities that these people who are here are facing. But then my direction changed a bit when I recognized that 51% of migrants are children. Yeah. And the recognition that this trauma that they would have experienced and the humanitarian crisis that they're in has been really one that affects them differently. And I would have been partnering with organizations who would have committed to providing a safe space and providing educational opportunities for these children. And so my role there would have been helping to link them with resources such as food, and partnering with the US Embassy for healthcare opportunities. And it also gave me a platform to make this sensitization more practical, and so I would have had interactive sessions with them on a weekly basis through universal languages like dance and music and theatre and art, to allow them to be accommodated into a space where they now may have to call home. And so it really created a space of accommodation and a space where it transcended the language barrier and allowed us to recognize the things that are important, which is our humanity.
Yeah, I think sometimes we forget that people migrate because they're looking for a better life and they can't find it in their own countries. So they kind of have to leave their homes. It's not a choice that they really want to do, they have to do it. Yeah. So I really feel your project. I work with migrants myself. So thank you, Trinidad and Tobago, for being part of it. Now we'll meet Hungary.
My name is Kristina Nagypál. I'm 23 years old and I'm representing Hungary on the 69th Miss World competition. I was born in Budapest. It is the capital city of Hungary. I'm really proud of my city because it's a lively place, full of history, and it has always been a real milestone in European culture. I graduated from Metropolitan University in Human Resources Management. I did sports for 10 years in the past, including rock and roll and professional dance. I still do exercise every day. Sports taught me to be humble, persistent, and to struggle for my goals. I believe if we have a dream and we are persistent enough, we can reach it. One of my favorite mottos is, If you try, you can lose. But if you don't try, you have already lost. For me, family is the most valuable thing in the world. I can always count on them. In my free time, I love cooking and baking cakes for my beloved ones. I'm lactose intolerant, so I try to pay careful attention to my diet. I think the protection of our environment and the love of animals are really important. I also try to pass this on to children because we adults and their role models. Our future depends on them.
I'm Kristina Nagypál, Miss World Hungary 2019.
Well, Hungary, you speak about your family. How do they feel now that you're here in London representing your country?
Thank you for your question. I would like to answer in Hungarian because I can express better myself.
Perfect, go ahead.
A családomnak nagyon-nagyon sokat köszönhetek. Kiskorom óta mindig mellettem állnak, mindenben támogattak. Anyukám az első versenyem óta végig kísért, és rá bármikor számíthatok, bármikor felhívhatom, és mindig ott van mellettem. Kiskorom óta nagy álmom volt, hogy képviseljem Magyarországot egy ilyen nagy és jelképes versenyen. Úgy gondolom, hogy ez a Miss World, ez egy óriási verseny és lehetőség. Főként azért jöttem ide, hogy rengeteget tanuljak, megismerjem másoknak a kultúráját, és amióta itt vagyok, minden nap tanulok valami újat, és nagyon örülök tényleg, hogy itt lehetek. Számomra valóra vált az álmom, és ennek nagyon örülök, hogy a családommal is meg tudom osztani, illetve a barátaimmal. Rengeteg lánnyal összebarátkoztam, és nagyon örülök neki, hogy itt lehetek.
Well, I wish I know Hungarian, but I know that you speak very passionately about your family. And what about your video with a purpose?
A videómban főként itt a vakokra és a gyengénlátókra szerettem volna felhívni a figyelmet. Hozzájuk látogattam el, meséket és verseket olvastam fel nekik, aminek láttam az arcukon, hogy nagyon örülnek, és nagyon megható volt, hiszen sokaknak mozgásszervi gondjaik is voltak, és tényleg rettentően nagyon-nagyon nehéz volt nézni, ahogy segítenek nekik, és szeretnék továbbra is majd hozzájuk ellátogatni, és másokon is segíteni, illetve egy ilyen új, végül is vettünk fel számukra egy ilyen videót, hogyha legközelebb esetleg nem lesz időm, vagy nem tudok elmenni, akkor is, ha csak berakják a CD-t, akkor meg tudják hallgatni, és ott tudok velük lenni akár lélekben, illetve ugyanúgy segítettem az időseken, illetve több kampányban is részt veszek, például most is a Mikulásgyár kampányában, ami például gyűjt és segít a kisgyerekeknek.
Well, thank you very much, Hungary. And there you go, your 6 contestants from Group 7 of the Head-to-Head Challenge. Remember to vote for your favorites in all our social media platforms, Mofter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, MissWorld.com. We'll see you next time with Group 8.